Imagine being out alone in the woods. Suddenly you hear a noise as if something is moving behind you. As you turn around to look, you think that you see something quickly hiding behind the trees, but you're not sure. So you continue moving through the woods, but you can't shake that feeling of being watched. That something is right behind you. You may not realize it yet, but that feeling is more of a warning. Because not only are you being watched, you are being stalked by a creature known as the Hidebehind. In September 2012, a woman named Linda Ortega had been visiting her sister in the St. Joe area when her brother, Eddie Huff, offered to teach her how to survive in the wild. She agreed and they went out hiking. A few hours would pass and Eddie would soon return. When he was asked where Linda was, he simply said that he had dropped her off at a relative's house and she was just fine. But it would soon be discovered that Linda wasn't at a relative's house at all. In fact, Linda had never returned from the woods. And no one had seen her since before she went out on the hike with her brother. Naturally, people started questioning Eddie, but according to some reports, he seemed to have no memory of what had actually happened, and he acted very confused. More than 100 people would join the search for Linda, and she would be found 5 days later in a random location in the middle of the woods. But here is where it gets weird. When she was found, Linda was in a state of shock and she seemed very unnerved by whatever had happened to her during those 5 days in the woods. She would later tell the story of how her brother had suffered some kind of injury and she went to get help. And as she walked through the woods, she would come across a group of hikers, but no matter how much she screamed at them, they didn't seem to hear her. But most relevant for this video, she also said that she witnessed shadowy figures that appeared to be watching her through the trees and bushes at night, but would immediately hide if she tried to approach them or just looked in their direction. There are a few stories like this one of people going missing and then seeing weird figures in the woods. Figures that seemed to hide whenever these people would try to get a better look at them. This story by Linda is just one example, and I'm sure many of you who are watching this video have heard many more like it. Especially if you are at least somewhat familiar with the Missing 411 project. Before getting more into the video, I should point out that it has been theorized by some that this account by Linda and other hikers who told similar stories were nothing but hallucinations, that the lack of food, drink, or sleep caused these people to hallucinate while they were lost in the wilderness. But Linda's description of the shadowy figures that immediately hid when she tried to look at them, that she only saw during nighttime, does fit the topic of this video. Because there is a creature that has been blamed for the disappearance of loggers. A creature that would stalk its prey and hide behind the trees whenever anyone tried to approach or even look at this creature. When early loggers failed to return to camp, it was believed by many that they had been taken by a creature known as the Hidebehind. According to folklore, the Hidebehind is a nocturnal creature that preys upon humans that wander the woods. Its name is from the way it would stalk its prey. According to folklore, the Hidebehind would stalk its prey through the forest while darting from tree trunk to conceal itself. The second you tried to look directly at it, it would quickly hide, and if it was close enough, it could even use you as a way of hiding, making you question whether or not you saw anything at all. But whenever you turned your back to it, it would creep closer. Once close enough, it would attack and drag you back to its lair, where it would gouge out the stomach and intestines to feast on. This attack was so fast that the victim might die of fright alone. Those who have caught a glimpse of this creature describe it as a humanoid creature with black fur and red eyes. It's so thin that it can conceal itself behind any tree, no matter how small. They're said to be very patient hunters and will stalk you for some time before attacking. Perhaps someone lost in the woods for 5 days. The Hidebehind is also known for making odd and spooky noises that can be common near a campsite late at night. Weirdly enough, it's said to hate the smell of alcohol, which led many lumberjacks to drinking a lot of alcohol and claiming that it was to protect themselves when they headed out into the forest. Of course, this particular detail is seen by many as nothing but an excuse to drink. Fire is also said to keep the creature away from campsites at night. So keeping a fire burning throughout the night would be wise. Like I said earlier in the video, when loggers or lumberjacks of early American settlers would disappear without a trace, the Hidebehind would often be blamed. A lumberjack was a job with a myriad of dangers to contend with every single day, and it is theorized that the Hidebehind was a story to explain strange disappearances and noises in the night. But it also served as a reminder to people working or moving throughout the woods to remain vigilant against any potential threat. Regardless if someone was lost in the woods, out for a hike, or simply in the woods to work, many people have reported seeing or hearing strange things while in the wilderness. That unsettling feeling of being watched or followed, but not seeing anything when you turn to look. It may be your mind playing tricks on you, or it may be the Hidebehind.